Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Nerf Blaster video here on the CJ Nerf channel. Today we are going to bring you the Nerf Doomlands Impact Zone Longarm. We're going to review, range test, and chronograph test this blaster. Stay tuned. Doomlands Impact Zone Longarm comes with everything you see here. The blaster itself, 6 white darts with black tips. It also comes with a set of directions, which at the moment I can't find. Alright guys, let's quickly go over the Longarm. There's not really too much to cover since it is a pretty straightforward pistol. It does have one tactical rail up here on the top, which you can use any kind of sight or flashlight that you choose. It has a raised point here in the front also for aiming, which actually does sit above the priming mechanism, but it only is one point of aiming, so it's not really going to work too well. But for aesthetic wise, it's there. Does not have an end strike attachment, so you cannot affix other barrels to this blaster. And it also has one sling mount down here at the bottom. And of course, here's the trigger. Here is the priming mechanism. And to load the Longarm, it is just exactly like the Spectre. You actually push the button, pop out the cartridge, and then you just simply slide them in and rotate like such. When you're finished, pop them back in, primed already, shoot, and go. It's also worth pointing out that this blaster does not offer slam fire, so I will hold the trigger and demonstrate. As you can tell, there is no slam fire feature, and it does have this nice handy dandy foregrip down here if you are a younger Nerfer, and to hold it out with one hand is just a little bit too much for you. And that about covers everything on the Nerf Doomlands Longarm. Why don't we go outside and shoot this thing and see how it performs. All right, guys, we're gonna run outside real quick. The rain washed away the chalk lines that I had for 20 feet. A lot of cloud cover in the sky, so I'm gonna try to get this outdoor range test in so I don't have to do another indoor one. So we're just gonna shoot this thing a bunch of times and show you guys what it does. All right, so we're at about 20 feet. All right, let's shoot that again. Okay, let's go over the chronograph results for the Longarm, and as you can see, we took 20 shots for testing purposes. The high shot was 72 feet per second, the low shot was 65 feet per second, which gave us a 20 shot average of 68 feet per second, right on line with Nerf Elite norms. All right, let's do it coming at you. All right, we're gonna back it up, I don't know, about 35 feet. All right, let's go over the Longarm cons in my opinion. And the first one, and I think it's actually a pretty significant one, is cost comparatively. And what do I mean by that? I mean there's a lot of other blasters that perform better or equal for less money. Okay, here's what I'm talking about cost comparatively. You can pick up a strong arm or a disruptor that has actually more rounds and the slam fire feature. And in contrast, you can actually pick up a Flip Fury, which offers slam fire, as well as a 12-round capacity. And what's not to love about the hammer shot? It still blows away the Longarm in my opinion. Smaller, compact, easy to load, and can prime with one hand. And then let's not forget, the blaster it's actually modeled after, which is the Spectre Rev 5, is the exact same price. And actually you can find cheaper at Walmart if you really look and catch it on a good day of a sale. Not to mention you get 2 other attachments with it. Most people don't like the stock. I'm one of those people, but the barrel is awesome, especially for painting, to make some of your other blasters look better. And then of course, if you want to just spend an extra $5, you can go and pick up a Retaliator and you can get a stock, a bigger magazine, a front barrel, and a foregrip. And then if you want to just take all those pieces off and just use the actual pistol portion of the blaster, it works fantastic. So I'm not saying don't buy the Longarm, I'm just saying that there are plenty of other options of either cheaper, smaller, or faster, or better performing weapons. So let's move on. 2 on our cons list is the no slam fire, and I just showed you in the last slide about why that's an issue. So take it for what it's worth. Let's move on. Not that I expect much, but we're going to give it a shot from 40 feet and see what that looks like coming at you. Can you believe I actually hit 2 out of 5 from 40? Wow, that's sick. All right, looking at the long arm, let's take a look at 2 pros that we can find that are actually a little unique, because obviously this is more like the Spectre when you really think about it. But I did manage to find 2. One is the paint scheme and aesthetics. The impact zone desolator and the long arm, actually I love the way they designed these blasters and the way they did the paint scheme. So I'll give it major props for that, and that's definitely a pro. 2, if you're a younger Nerfer and you have a problem using this blaster one-handed, not the prime, but just actually holding it out and shooting it one-handed, they did put a nice little foregrip down here for the younger Nerfers out there in the world. So not saying everybody's going to need it, but it is a nice little addition to the blaster for those who may. So those are the 2 pros. Let's get on to my overall opinion. I break my reviews down into 5 different categories and a 5-star rating to come up with a buy or sell rating depending on what the average becomes. So let's start with number 1, cost. 2.5 is going to be my rating. This blaster averages at $19.99, and I've shown earlier in the video that there are plenty of other options that have more to offer and are less expensive. 2, firepower. It averages at 68 feet per second. That's the Nerf Elite average. So it was actually pretty decent. So I'm just going to say, you know what, it's not stellar and it's not below average, so we'll just stay rated at the midway point. Customization for pistols, I gotta say, it's got quite a bit to offer. It does have a tactical rail up here, as well as a sling mount and a foregrip under here. So that's a little unusual for pistols, so we'll give that a 4. Easy use, the loading is a little bit of a pain in the butt, but the priming mechanism and the trigger pull is actually very smooth, so we'll go a little bit above average and we'll give it a 3.5. And the quality, it's actually really nice. I can't complain. I love the aesthetics of the blaster and the way it was built, so I'll give that a 4. I do take a little bit off because it doesn't have slam fire, and the fact that, you know, over time I could see this with these little 2 arms being a little flimsy and just, you know, messing up a little bit. All right, so if you total up these numbers and divide by 5, that's actually going to come out to a 3.3 rating. And my recommendation on this is it's kind of 50-50. I don't want to tell you to buy this blaster, and I don't want to tell you to leave this blaster. If you don't take anything else into consideration and you just play with this blaster, I mean, it's not bad. It shoots pretty hard. It's nice. It's aesthetically pleasing. You like to collect and you are a completionist, then you would want this in your collection, even though you have the other ones that I spoke about earlier, which are a better value. Now, on the same fact, I would tell you to leave it if you're not a completionist and you only have a little bit of money and you have to choose a blaster based on performance. You might want to look somewhere else. So I'm going to leave this one entirely up to you. I gave you all the data. You can make up your own mind whether or not this works for you. So that's going to do it from my review of the Nerf Doomlands Impact Zone Long Arm. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up. Show me a little support. Don't forget to check out any of the cards that might have popped up during the video that you may have missed. And if you are new to this channel, do me a favor, subscribe. You're going to get a ton of data so you can make informed decisions about whether or not blasters work for you. So from our family to yours, have a great day, guys, and keep shooting.